Now we move on to the next page. Now children, the next heading is importance of distance and direction. Okay, now children, distance and direction, they are very important. Why are they important? If we want to locate a place. Okay, now here an example is there. You can see the diagram over here. Now if there is a place at any point whose location we want to know, what information do we require? Okay, it would be helpful if we know how far away it is from place, say from the point Y, and if we know the point X is 10 kilometer away from point Y, then we know the distance. It means that you can see the picture over here, Y is also shown and X. So if we want the exact location of this place Y, then it is very important that we should know the if we want to know the location of X, okay, in like from Y, then we should know the distance between X and Y. So in short, we can say that if we want to locate a place, two things are very important. One is the direction and other is the distance. Now children, also if we know that X is in the southwest of Y, then we know the exact location of point X. Okay, so here you can see in the picture, if we want to know the location of X, okay, in from the point Y, then it is very important that we should know the distance between them, and then we can make a line and we can make an cross over here and mark the direction N, S, W and E, that is north, south, west and east, and then we can join the two places X and Y, and then we can know that it lies between west and south. It means it is in southwest. Okay, now let us move on to the next, and that is scale. Now children, showing a large area on a small piece of paper, it is not easy. Okay, this is only possible with the help of a scale. Now children, maps, they use scales in order to show the distance on the ground. Now here an example is there that 1 unit on the map, it can show 100 units on the ground. So two places which are 2 centimeter apart on the map, it will be 200 kilometer on the ground. So this relation of 1 centimeter of map representing 100 kilometer on the ground, it is known as the scale of the map. Now children, different maps, they can have different types of scale. First of all, let us understand what is a scale. Okay, now a scale, it is the ratio between the distance on the map and the corresponding true distance on the ground. Now the scales, they are also shown in different ways. So let us see which are the different ways of showing a scale. The first way is by a statement, second way is by a graduated straight line, which is also known as linear scale, and the third is the representative fraction, which is also known as RF. So these you can see over here, the three different ways to show the scale. Okay, so one is in the form of a statement, it is also known as verbal scale. Second is the linear scale, or it is also shown by a graduated line, it is also known as bar scale. And the third is shown in the form of fraction, and it is known as representative fraction. In short, it is known as RF. Okay, now let us have a few information about the map. The first map, it was made in Babylon in 2500 BCE. Okay, and English priest. He made the map which was known as Mappa Mundi, map of the world. It was between the dates 1280 CE and CE 1300. Now let us see the various ways of showing a scale. First is the statement or the verbal scale. In this type of the scale, the map distance, it is mentioned in the form of a statement. For example, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter on the map, it represents 10 kilometer on the ground. It means 1 centimeter equal to 10 kilometer. This means that 1 centimeter on the map, it is equal to 10 kilometer on the ground. Now, the second is the linear scale. Now children, the linear scale, it is also known by two other names. It is known as graphical scale, or it is also known as graduated straight line. Now let us see which method is adopted in this in order to show the scale. Now children, in this type of scale, the map distance is shown through a straight line. Okay, a straight line is made and it is divided into lengths. And these lengths, they represent the proportional distance on the ground. Now children, this scale, it is normally it is between 12 centimeter and 20 centimeter. This line is already divided into parts, and these parts, they are known as secondary divisions. Okay, the linear scale, it is drawn usually at the lower portion of the map. Now in the end, we come to the last method, and which is known as representative fraction, which is also known as numerical fraction. So children, in the representative fraction scale, the ratio between the map distance and the ground distance, it is represented as a fraction. Okay, where the numerator is 1 and both the numerator and the denominator, they are expressed in the same unit. Okay, now let us move to the next heading, and that is conventional signs and symbols. Now children, the maps, they use many signs and symbols in order to show the various features. Now, as we know that the maps represent only a small area on earth, as there is a limitation of space. Now the signs and the symbols, they indicate the various features in a map in a very simple manner and in a very clear way, because in the limited space which is available on the map. Now here you can see a box over here, and you can see the various signs and symbols, and it is already written what they represent. So these are very, very important. Now these signs and the symbols which are used in the maps, they are governed by conventions. Now what is the meaning of the word conventions? It means certain set of rules. Okay, and that is the reason these signs and symbols, they have been approved and accepted internationally. These symbols and the signs which are approved and accepted internationally, they are known as conventional signs and symbols. Why they are used? Because it makes easy for people of a country to explain any other country's map. So that is the reason they are very, very important. Now children, we can learn the best from a map only if we know the meanings of the symbols and the signs which are given on a map. So the next heading comes to signs and symbols. Children, the signs and the symbols which are used on the map, they are of different types. Now the first is the use of letters. Now children, some of the features, they can also be represented with the help of letters. Like T stands for tank. Different styles of letters may be used. Different styles of letters can be used to denote different features like bold for capital city names and italics for city. Thank you. The rest we will be doing in the next video. Thank you and have a nice day.